Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, go to our website. That's riseunwindtv.com. And what's happening on today's show? Well, we got this.
And also Margo.
Oh.
She's sick. Come on, she's cool.
Come on.
Icon. She's an icon. Are you kidding me? Come on now.
You're crazy.
Come on now.
So I think a lot of the moves that I do in the ring, I used to do when I was a gymnast. And I love to do moves that, people kind of already do, but I put my own kind of Tiffy twist on it, if you will.
Some people say, well, why is it worth it? Why do you want to go out there and risk your life and just to drive on an ice road and drive across the ice? Well, I tell you what, when you battle Mother Nature the way we got to battle it, and you get that loaded in the community, and these communities come out, and it's like Christmas time to them.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. Fall's in full swing, which means football, cooler temperatures, and plenty of coughs and sniffles. And to help us get ready for the cold and flu season is Dr. Lynn Safaty, a pharmacist with CVS Pharmacy. She's joining me with some tips for stocking up the smart way so we're not wasting money on what we don't need. Welcome, Dr. Safaty. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good. Okay, we're already seeing colds going around. What are the symptoms that are most common this season?
Yeah, so if you have a cold, you might be experiencing things like a stuffy nose, headache, maybe feeling tired. But if it's the flu, those symptoms are going to be super amplified and also coupled with body aches, fever. You'll definitely be able to tell the difference if you have the flu versus if you have a cold. So it's really important this time of year to make sure that you take care of yourself, get enough sleep, try to eat the best you can, and then also stay hydrated.
And you've said everyone should have a cold and flu toolkit. What is that? And what should be in it?
So you want to have some things at home to help kind of be prepared, right? So the first step in being prepared before we buy stuff for at home is to actually go out and get our flu vaccine. So that is one of the best ways to not only protect yourself, but the people around you. So it's recommended everybody 6 months and older to go get their flu vaccine. But of course, there might be times where you still will get sick. You want to make sure you have stuff at home ready to use so you can start feeling better. So there's certain products that I always like to have in my medicine cabinet, and that's things like pain relievers, fever reducers, nasal decongestants, electrolytes, and also antihistamines to help with those allergy symptoms as well.
And if we already have a few medicines in the cabinet, how worried should we be about those expiration dates?
Yes. So expiration dates do matter, right? So with medications, it is different though than expiration dates in your refrigerator. So you would never eat expired milk because it could make you sick. But with medications, the expiration date, when it goes beyond that, it's not necessarily going to hurt you, but it might not help you because it does lose its potency. So that's why you want to make sure you check those dates and take a look. That way, if you are feeling sick, you want something on hand that's actually going to help you feel better.
And are there any medicines that people should avoid mixing when they're trying to fight a cold?
Yes. So it's really important to always talk to your CVS pharmacist if you do have questions about drug interactions. But there are some products that are in the over-the-counter cold combination formulations that might not be safe for you if you take medications for high blood pressure or certain antidepressants. So it is really important just to make sure you're reading the label and talking to your pharmacist before starting anything new.
So how do store brand medicines stack up against the name brands? Are they really just as good?
Yeah, they are. So that's a secret. So the store brand or CVS brand actually goes through the same testing for safety and efficacy through the FDA as the national brand. So it's going to work just as well, and it's going to save you a lot of money because they're considerably less expensive than the national leading brand. So definitely recommend that to patients, and especially when you're shopping, you might notice some updated packaging for the CVS formulation store brands. So it makes it very easy to see what you're looking for and find the right product for the entire family.
And finally, where can we go for more information?
If viewers want to learn more, they can visit cvs.com or pop into their local CVS pharmacy.
Thank you very much for joining me, Dr. Safaty.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
As food prices continue to rise, many families, especially in small towns and rural areas, are feeling the pinch when it comes to putting healthy meals on the table. To help, country superstar Luke Bryan has teamed up once again with Bayer and the Feeding America for Take Care Now campaign, now celebrating 10 years of fighting hunger across the U.S. Joining us is Bryan Lee, Director of U.S. External Communications at Bayer, to share how this partnership is helping families in need. Welcome to the show, Bryan.
Thanks so much for having me, Mandy. I appreciate it.
So good to have you. Bryan, let's start with the big picture. How are rising food prices impacting families, especially in those smaller and rural communities?
Yeah, so big picture, Mandy, it's it is a persistent issue that we're seeing unfortunately not get a whole lot better. Feeding America, one of our partners, have pegged the number of food insecure Americans at 47 million. And research also shows that recently 9 out of 10 Americans, due to food inflation and rising food costs, have changed their shopping habits. So what this has led to, at least in rural communities, is a 12% drop in food quality. So what that ultimately means that there's more stress, more anxiety, and less access to nutritious food in some of these areas. So it's not always just about hunger, it's also about health. And that's why campaigns like Take Care Now are so meaningful and important.
That's a very good point. And this year marks 10 years of the partnership between Bayer and Luke Bryan. How did that relationship begin? And what have you been able to accomplish together over this decade?
The partnership with Luke Bryan and Feeding America has been, I think, one of the most gratifying partnerships I've been a part of. Quite frankly, Luke is a great partner in that he is a son of a Georgia peanut farmer. He understands these rural community issues. He's does some farming himself, so he's really ingrained into that rural culture and again understands those communities. And by partnering with Bayer and Feeding America, we have been able together to create 10 million meals provided to Feeding America to be shared throughout their network of food banks and getting to those individuals that need the help the most. So it's been an extremely gratifying partnership. And one example of this partnership, going outside of just the Bayer component, at Luke's recent Luke Bryan Farm Tour concerts, he had a concert in each Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois. His fans, at his behest, were mobilized, and they actually brought 20,000 pounds of food during these 3 days. So it was really a sight to see trucks loaded up with food headed back to food banks to replenish shelves. And it really shows a way that this partnership can make a meaningful difference.
That is really awesome. And this campaign also highlights something called hidden hunger. Can you explain what that means and why it's such an important part of fighting food insecurity?
Yeah, so people, I think, often are familiar with the term food insecurity, where someone doesn't know where their next food is coming or their meal is coming from. But hidden hunger is a bit different. It may mean that their bellies are full, that they have enough calories, but they're not getting the right type of foods. They're not getting the fibers and the irons and the calciums needed to be truly healthy. And what the issue with that is, it can have long-term health effects. So our campaign helps connect those dots between agriculture, nutrition, and health, because nutrition is certainly just as important as filling those plates.
And finally, where can our audience go to get involved and support their local community?
So first and foremost, that if you're able to, I invite your viewers to connect with your local food banks, either volunteer or make donations there. With Thanksgiving right around the corner, that's a need that we're seeing ramped up, really across the country. There's also some easy ways to get involved as well. So you can use the hashtag Here's to the Farmer on your social media outlets to kind of be part of that conversation and raise awareness. You can also go to bayer.us/farm tour to learn more about the initiative, the Take Care Now campaign, get some information about what's going on and how to be part of that as well.
Really awesome program, really great information, really awesome having you on the show, Bryan. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate the time today.
They're mean, they're messy, and they're absolutely unforgettable. And now, Roald Dahl's classic villains are back with a brand new twist. The Twits. It's the hilarious animated musical on Netflix where two terrible adults try to take over their town until a group of clever kids and magical animals fight back. So joining us are Margo Martindale, who voices Mrs. Twit, and Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, the voice of Bisha, one of the young heroes standing up to all of this chaos. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Oh, great.
Good.
Thank you.
Doing great.
Okay, Roald Dahl, his stories, they're always filled with like dark humor, but yeah, a lot of hearts. What was it like stepping into his world for the Twits?
It was a joyride, really.
Truly, a true joyride in the land of the Twitlandia amusement park. Very dark humor and obviously, like you said, emotional themes, but also a really nasty, grimy, gross and smelly backdrop for the Twits.
And Margo, Ms. Twit.
Yeah.
She's such
What
a
about
wonderfully
it?
awful
What about
character.
her?
How did you find your take on her personality and her voice and all of that?
Just follow the leader, if you know what I mean. Phil Johnson really, he was the guide for all of us, and he's a unbelievably creative, fun-loving, crazy, wonderful man. And it was like there was no limit to what we could do. You know, to blow the top off, basically.
And Maitreyi, your character Bisha brings so much heart to the story. What did you love most about playing her?
I think truly the thing that I loved most was that she is so kind and is so good. And even her, she still can succumb and slip to being a little awful, just like a Twit. And the character arc that she has is so beautiful and is so just honest and real in a world that feels very absurd. So that juxtaposition is very appealing to me.
In the movie, it mixes some humor, some music, and a great message about teamwork. What do you hope families take away after watching this?
I just hope they take away the joy that we felt doing it, that we had doing it, and also the beauty of the animation is extraordinary, I think. And you hope maybe some people will be nicer to each other.
Yeah, a little kindness, a little kindness.
Little
Take away a
kindness
laugh and
goes a
cry.
long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And both of you have such diverse careers. What made the Twits stand out as something that you just definitely wanted to be part of?
Phil Johnson.
Yeah, Phil. And also Margo.
Oh.
She's sick. Come on, she's cool.
Come on.
Icon. She's an icon. Are you kidding me? Come on now.
You're crazy.
Come on now. Phil and Margo.
Oh, wow. Well, that's nice.
See, you got a little bit of love there. The Twits is now streaming on Netflix. It's the perfect pick for a family movie night full of laughs, songs, and maybe a little mischief. You can check it out now at netflix.com/thetwits. Hey, I want to thank you two for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ever wonder what it feels like to headline the biggest stage in sports entertainment? Yep, that's true. It's WrestleMania 42. It's on its way, and WWE's women champion Tiffany Stratton is leading the charge. From gymnastic star to WWE superstar, she's known for the prettiest moonsault ever and for ushering in what fans call the prettiest era ever. And we got to welcome her to the show. Tiffany, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Your path from the U.S. national gymnastics teams to WWE champion, it's pretty incredible. When you look back, what do you think gave you the confidence to kind of make that leap?
That's a really good question. My mom actually had a lot to do with me kind of going into wrestling. She saw Charlotte Flair on our TV screen. We were kind of scrolling through the channels, and she was like, you can totally do something like that. Like, that's totally like what you do in gymnastics right now. And I was like, yeah, okay, Mom, I'm going to the Olympics. Like, stop it. I have to focus on gymnastics. And then eventually, you know, that dream died, and I moved on from gymnastics, and I did CrossFit, I did bodybuilding, and I kind of just wanted to do something that was a little bit more competitive. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this wrestling stuff out, because I saw it was starting to get popular. I saw it on my Instagram. I saw it on Facebook and stuff like that. So I signed up at my nearest pro wrestling school, and it happened to be at Mr. Kennedy's pro wrestling school. And my mom then had a contact who knew Greg Gagne and had reached out to him. And he agreed to train me for a little bit, and he helped me get my tryout with WWE. And then eventually I tried out, and they signed me a week later, and here I am 4 years later, the WWE Women's Champion. I wrestled Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I beat Trish Stratus, Nia Jax. So it's been a very successful 4 years.
And you've got like a very unique style in the ring. How'd you shape your persona and in-ring moves that fans now connect with Tiffy time?
So I think a lot of the moves that I do in the ring, I used to do when I was a gymnast. And I love to do moves that, people kind of already do, but I put my own kind of Tiffy twist on it, if you will. And I try and do it better than anybody else has ever done it, or prettier, if you will. So like my moonsault, for instance, my swanton, stuff like that. I try and add like a little, flair onto it. And I also try and make it look brutal and aggressive at the same time. So we're pretty in the ring, but we're also aggressive.
And last year, WrestleMania 41 shattered records in Las Vegas. Now WrestleMania 42 is set to return to Allegiant Stadium. How does it feel knowing you'll be part of that history?
So last year was actually my first ever WrestleMania. And that whole process was so exciting for me. It was nerve-wracking, but for it to be in Las Vegas was just so fun for me, because I feel like Vegas is just an iconic state. Like, I feel like it's the sports entertainment capital of the world. Everyone talks about Las Vegas and how entertaining it is. So to have my first ever WrestleMania there against Charlotte Flair was such a dream come true. And now that we get to go back to Las Vegas, it's almost like nostalgic for me, because Vegas holds a special place in my heart since it was my first WrestleMania. So I'm super excited to go back. I feel like Vegas has something for everybody. We're going to have SmackDown there. We're going to have Raw there. We're going to have NXT there. There's going to be after parties, watch parties. And if you ever get bored of the wrestling, because there's going to be a lot of wrestling going on, you can literally find something to do on the Strip. So it's going to be such a fun weekend.
And you've already had huge moments, winning Money in the Bank, cashing in, becoming champion. What's been your biggest, pinch me moment so far in WWE?
My biggest pinch me moment, I feel like, was probably my WrestleMania match. Either that or cashing in and winning the title. I felt like that whole day was so stressful and exhilarating and exciting and nerve-wracking. And when I did cash in and I came out and I thought about it, then I pulled it away, and then I hit Naomi with the briefcase, and then Bianca hit her finish, and then I pulled Bianca out. It was just like so many ups and downs, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna do this? Am I not gonna do this? And then finally I cashed in and I hit my moonsault, and that was kind of like the moment where I was like, holy crap, I just became champion in my first year of being on SmackDown. So that was probably the biggest pinch me moment of my career.
Tiffany Stratton, thanks for joining me today. WrestleMania 42 takes over Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium on April 18th and 19th in 2026. I know you got time, but 2-day combo tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster, so don't miss your chance to be part of WWE's biggest event of the year. Tiffany, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ever wonder what it takes to drive a massive truck across a sheet of ice? Knowing one wrong move could mean disaster. The hit History Channel series Ice Road Truckers has returned with its most intense season yet. Higher stakes, deadlier conditions, and shorter windows to deliver life-saving supplies to some of the most remote communities on Earth. Joining me is a fan favorite and veteran trucker, Todd Dewey, who's back behind the wheel for season 12. Welcome to the show, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm actually standing on solid ground right now, so I'm feeling pretty confident.
All right, there you go. For those out there who haven't seen it, what do you think makes ice road trucking such a dangerous and vital job?
Oh my gosh. Well, you hit it all when you explained it right off the get-go and letting them know who you were going to be talking to. It starts out from day one and it don't stop until the season's actually over with and you're on a plane flying home. I mean, what it takes to be an ice road trucker is a whole lot of crazy and a lot of trucking skills and a lot of years behind the wheel. That's what it honestly takes. And, we go up there and fight Mother Nature like nobody's business, from snowstorms to thin ice to losing your loads to truck breakdowns and there's some things that happen this season. I know that we've had lots of other seasons and lots of things have happened, but I don't know why or for what reason, but things happen on this season that have never happened before. We had trailers going losing oversized loads. Some of the worst weather conditions I think we've ever been faced with up there, including very thin ice due to climate change, and a very short window to go get a lot of loads in these communities. And what people don't understand is they're like, well, you're just driving down the road and just delivering a load. It's not like that. It's what we got to go through to get these loads into the community some people say, well, why is it worth it? Why do you want to go out there and risk your life and just to drive on an ice road and drive across the ice? Well, I tell you what, when you battle Mother Nature the way we got to battle it, and you get that load into the community, and these communities come out, and it's like Christmas time to them, and the little kids come up and they give you a hug, and they're so excited to be getting their new bike, maybe that's in their load of supplies, or their food that they need for the remainder of the year after the ice roads, when they all melt and they go away, that's the only access they have to get these supplies. So when I stop and think of my kids or my granddaughters going without food or supplies that they need to live throughout a year, that's how important it is. And they show their appreciation when you show up there, and it makes it all worthwhile.
And you face some brutal hauls. What's the toughest one that sticks with you?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many over the hauls. I can't give any away this year. You're going to have to put your seatbelt on and buckle up and watch a show and go for a crazy ride of this. But there's been so many times that I think I broke a couple records over the years for some of the heaviest hauls on the ice. And there's been a lot of situations. There's been a lot of scary moments. Let's put it that way.
And season 12, it marks really a big return after a long hiatus. What's it been like getting back on the ice kind of this time around?
Oh, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. After having 8 years off and spending and doing a little family time and doing some graduations with my daughters and getting my new grandbabies and doing all that, and then getting the call to go back up after 8 years of not being on the ice, I was nervous. I'm not going to sit here and BS you. I was like, oh my gosh, because then you get flooded with all those emotions of knowing what's about to happen, how thin the ice can get, Mother Nature, the snowstorms you're going to get yourself into. Am I going to be able to get these loads? And do I still have what it takes to be an ice road trucker? And so the first couple of 2-3 runs up there, I was nervous like nobody's business, thinking, oh my, because it just flooded me with emotions. The second I hit that first ice road, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm here and doing this again. So it was quite the adventure, and this is definitely one season you are not going to want to miss.
And this season, we're seeing some veterans and rookies out there. How do the new drivers handle the pressure compared to some of the seasoned pros like you?
I don't know. I've been with a couple new season drivers that have been up there over the years of ice road trucking, and of course, I don't ever leave a driver behind. If I'm with somebody and they're new and they don't know, they're in a situation where they don't know what to do or how to get out of it or how to fix their truck, I'm not going to leave them. I'm going to stay there and help them until we get everybody safe and we're back up and rolling and get out of Mother Nature's elements and get back to rolling. But as far as the new guys this year, I didn't get a lot of trucking time with them. I know that they were nervous. I did talk to them on the side a little bit. And when we were back in getting loads, they're like, oh my gosh, this is not what I expected. I didn't think the roads were going to be this brutal. I didn't think Mother Nature is going to be this brutal. And it's like, I asked them the question, well, what do you think about coming back for another season? If the Muskie Creek asks you to come back and be another driver again this next year, they're like, oh man, I'm going to have to think about it, because it's that brutal. I mean, these road conditions put you through things you never think your body, or physically and emotionally, that you'd ever be put through. It's pretty amazing.
And beyond the danger and the paychecks, what's the real reward that's keeping you back hitting the road over and over again?
Getting those loads to the communities, those hugs and those hot plate of food after battling and putting your body and getting those loads in the community from Mother Nature and battling those ice roads. When you see the smiles on those families' faces and the way they came up and they give you a hug, and it's not just like a hug like, oh, no, it's a hug like you can tell the appreciation in it. And they kiss you on the cheek or whatever they do, and they just look at you in the eyes and say, thank you. We needed this. That's what being an ice road trucker is about, and that's why I love doing it so much.
Do the words global warming scare you?
Oh, absolutely. It scares me because of the fact of it almost feels like there's going to come a time to where those communities can't get their supplies that they need to survive and take care of their families, and that is definitely very scary.
Todd, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can watch Todd and the rest of the Fearless crew now on Ice Road Trucker Season 12, airing Wednesday nights on History Channel and streaming the next day at history.com/Ice Road Truckers. Hey, Todd, thanks for joining me today.
You betcha. Hey, stay safe out there and buckle up for the first episode. You're going to need it.
Lately, we've seen all of the buzz around new weight loss medications, but with that popularity comes some real safety concerns. Many people are turning to compounded or knockoff versions that are sold online, and experts are warning that some can even be dangerous. So joining me is Dr. Leigh Verbois, a board member of the Alliance for Safe Online Pharmacies and a former FDA official, here to explain what's happening and how patients can protect themselves. Welcome to the show, Dr. Verbois. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Okay, There have been a lot of talk about compounded versions of these popular GLP-1 weight loss medications. I'm getting advertised for them. What are some of the real risks about these, and what should we know?
Yeah, I get a lot of advertisements too. And it's important to understand that there is a gap between FDA-approved drugs and compounded GLP-1s. And that's a real and serious risk for many patients. Mass compounders are creating knockoffs and untested and unproven drugs and adding unnecessary ingredients like B12 and falsely claiming that they're personalized for individual patients. Too often, these are being sold in illegal online pharmacies, and that bypasses all the safeguards that are meant to protect patients. We see that this is having an impact on patients. Patients are more likely to be hospitalized up to 2 times the rate of others.
And many people are surprised to hear that the compounded drugs don't always go through the same FDA process. Why are they allowed to be sold at all?
Yeah, compounded drugs fill a very narrow gap when FDA-approved drugs are not available for a specific patient need. Think about when someone has an allergy to a piece of an approved product. And right now, mass compounders are violating FDA rules by mass producing knockoff GLP-1s and pretending that they're personalized. Many are sold through these unverified pharmacies. And the safest thing that a patient can do is go through one of the verified pharmacies and only use FDA-approved products.
So if somebody is looking for a weight loss treatment, what steps can they take to make sure that the medication is safe and even legitimate?
Yeah, the first thing a patient needs to do to make sure they're getting safe products is to talk to their healthcare provider before starting any medication and only use verified pharmacies that dispense FDA-approved GLP-1s. To stay informed, patients can visit the Alliance for Safe Online Pharmacies at www.buysaferx.pharmacy.
And finally, what more can be done by patients, providers, or even like policymakers to try to better protect people from these like unsafe online products?
I love getting this question because it shows that everyone has a little bit of responsibility. Patient safety has to come first. FDA needs to step up their inspection. They need to close their oversight gaps and enforce rules prohibiting the sale of unsafe compounded GLP-1s. Recalls and warning letters show us how serious the risks are. And the data I showed on hospitalization, it showcases that. At the end of the day, this is fundamentally a public health issue. Patients should consult their healthcare providers, but FDA needs to close those gaps and showcase their critical role in keeping patients safe.
I want to thank you for joining me today. One more time, where can we go for more information?
Go to www.buysaferx.pharmacy.
Dr. Verbois, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
And that's it for Rise Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. Go to our website, riseunwindtv.com. Follow us on social media. That's at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was Rise Unwind.
1, 2, 3. The streets are